Hey y'all, my name's Christina. I'm gonna do a little mini makeup tutorial for you guys today. I really don't know what I'm doing, but I just figured I'd try it out and see what you guys think. This isn't gonna be anything super crazy, and I have like a super awkward setup in here. I'm actually in my kids' playroom because I don't have like a vanity or a good recording space yet. So we'll see. Just work with me here. And yeah, I guess we'll get started. I already have my foundation on, a mix of Tarte, I forget what it is, like gel hybrid foundation and Limelight Botanical foundation. So I already have that on. Sorry if the lights are like super crazy. I'm extra super duper pale, so it's like hard to get the lighting right. All right, so I guess I'll start out with doing a little bit of contour and blush and stuff first. I use the Too Faced Power of Makeup by Nikki Tutorials. I've heard a lot of bad things actually, or not a lot of bad things, but supposedly Nikki Tutorials wasn't happy about this collab. I don't really know. I've just kind of heard stuff here and there. Anywho, I like the this contour that we have. I just use like a little tap of it there, and I just go along underneath the cheekbone. Just kind of brush lightly, and then do it on both sides. Just like brush a little bit under the cheekbone, try to make sure it's like even, which, you know, depending on your lighting or, you know, your whatever, you know, how heavily handed you are on specific sides, sometimes it's, you got to even it out or whatever. So yeah, and then I also like the blush that's in it. The I Will Always Love You. Justify My Love, I don't really use. I feel like it's a little too pink for me because I'm really pale, so I feel like it kind of gives me like a clown color. So I use this I Will Always Love You one. I really love it. As you can see, it's like, well, as you can see, it's like really been used a lot. So yeah, that's what I use for my blush. And let me find my little stipple brush. I'm going to use this little stipple brush to kind of blend it in. It's a little difficult for me to do like blush and contour and stuff because I'm so incredibly pale. It's really hard to find like the right colors without looking like really extra clowny. It's just kind of awkward for me to find, you know, something that's not too dark. So sometimes I have to apply it really lightly. Next, I'm going to do my brows. I kind of just bounce around between things until I find what I'm doing. I'm awkward, sorry. I'm just going to do like an easy brow today. I'm not going to go super crazy with it. I have the Anastasia Brow Wiz in taupe, and I got it in this like Sephora Favorites brow kit for light and medium, and I love it. Our old roommate got that for me. Him and his girlfriend got that for me for Christmas, and it's perfect, and I love it. So I'm just going to kind of go in here. I have long eyebrow hairs, and they're curly and patchy and like multicolored, so it's really hard for me to do my brows and find the right kind of product. Everything seems to be like too dark or too brown or something. Like things, it's just really awkward, and so it's hard to like find the right product. I do really love the Kat Von D tattoo brow that came in that same kit. It gives me a more dramatic look, well, you can tone it down, but I do it more dramatic in that one. And it with that one, it's like a marker kind of, and it works really well. But I'm running out of it, and I'm not going to try and struggle with it on screen today, as this is my first video. So I just kind of, and my brows are really awkward. Like I said, the brow hair actually is really curly, and if I try and trim it which I do, they still end up really awkward because then they're like patchy, even worse. And so I just kind of try and leave them alone, and then I'm going to even out my brows because they're different shapes. They have their own personalities. They do what they want, and I just try to, you know, oh dear Lord, what am I doing? Like, they do their own things. They have their own personalities, you know. So yeah, that's just kind of what I've got going on now. Just a little brow there. I brush them up a little bit. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing behind my mirror. It's harder to like tell in the screen, the camera, like what's going on. So this is what I've got going on now. It's not perfect, but I'm trying to do this like just a quick tutorial. So I have them kind of evened out, thickened up a little bit. They're not perfect by any means, but I'm just doing kind of like a more natural look for today. Okay, and next, what am I gonna do? I guess I have the Shadow Insurance by Too Faced. It also came with the Power of Makeup by Nikki Tutorials kit. It came with like several things, like an eyeliner and this, and the Better Than Sex mascara, which I really don't get it with that. That it's just not my favorite personally. So I'm going to put just like a tiny bit of this on here on my eyes and blend it in. I always put on more than I should, and then I end up with like trying to blot it out and smush it in, and just a mess. So yeah, so here I am like patting it into my eyes. It's good to have this like primer, so it keeps the shadow on your eyelids, and it also makes it bolder. I always forget to put it on, actually. I'm really bad about that. I also like the Urban Decay one. That's what I always used before. That one's great, but this one I got, with the set, so I used it. So yeah, so now that we have that on, I'm going to go ahead and do eyeshadow. I'm going to start with like doing the crease. One of my favorite go-to crease colors is actually from the Lime Crime Venus palette. I know people also have their, problems with Lime Crime. I've heard about it and all that. I'm not gonna put any judgments here right now, but I like to use the Creation. That one's really good for me. I just love it. I love this palette. It's so heavily pigmented, and the colors are just beautiful. They work really well for me. You can do something like really crazy with the colors, or you can do something really toned down. And then I have this Wet n Wild brush. I love this brush. I haven't said anything about really my brushes yet, but I always buy really inexpensive brushes because I break them or I wear them out quickly. So I like to replace mine quickly, like pretty often. These are like $1, $2, I can't remember. Anywho, so I just kind of get a little bit of Creation on there. I don't use a lot because it's really heavily pigmented. Sometimes I kind of like blow on the brush to get a little bit extra off, and then I'm going to sit here and I'm going to blend it and blend it and blend it, because like I said, it's very heavily pigmented. You can go like crazy bold with it, or really toned down. Here's my phone going off. I knew that was going to happen. And then I just kind of blend and blend, and my blending is going to be terrible because I'm actually like shaking because I'm nervous doing this video, and I also had several cups of coffee. So I'm like, ugh, got the caffeine jitters and the nervous, I'm making this video jitters of like social anxiety. And even though I'm not actually talking to anybody in person, the thought of people watching me do this is really nerve-wracking. But hopefully it will go well. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Everyone just would make fun of me, but I make fun of myself anyway, so it can't be that bad. Yeah, so sorry if I sound like a crazy person. So this is kind of what I've got going on right now. It's not like super perfectly blended, and I'm trying not to use my fingers to like smudge things. I know a lot of times I'll do that either by accident because I'm not thinking about it, but you really shouldn't use your fingers when you're like blending things because it smudges it up and it doesn't blend things as well. Now I've got a little bit better blend going on. And you can always just keep adding more, and I know that seems like crazy. You can add more and more, and that's what I do. I start out light and then I just add more and more until I feel comfortable with it. And you can always tone it down if you have like a skin color, like a nude, and it's hard to tell with the lighting that I have. It doesn't look very even, but in like my mirror right here, it looks a lot more even. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop with that for right now for that color. I also like to do it under the eye a little bit. I didn't even think about that. I like to do it a little bit, kind of give a little color here. I'm gonna try and speed this up because I feel like I'm taking forever doing my makeup. It doesn't take me this long normally if I'm doing like a regular face, and I don't want people to have to sit here and watch. See, there I go, trying to blend with my finger. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't take me this long. I'm just because I'm talking out loud, and it seems a little bit more difficult to try to get everything going while I'm talking. Okay, so there's that. So that's what I like to do, starting out with that. And then I guess the next color I'm going to do is like for the actual lid. I have the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. It's a Disney palette, and it's by Urban Decay. I really love this palette. Not only is it super just pretty on the outside, and then you have this and you open it up and it's got, I can keep from like letting the pan of eyeshadows falling out and break everywhere. It has this like butterfly, you open it up. I'm not going to do it because I'm about to like drop all the colors everywhere. And then you have a lot of colors to choose from. It's an interesting set of colors, I'll say that. Like I feel like they kind of may not be a cohesive color set, but they're all so beautiful. I really love them. And so I'm going to use Duchess here. It's like a shimmery color, kind of glittery in it. So I'm going to use that, I think. Let's see. I'm hoping that my youngest does not wake up from her nap while I'm trying to do this, because then it's going to make this a lot harder, and that my dogs don't bark, you know, like crazy. So I'm going to put this here on the lid, and I have no idea what kind of eyeshadow brush this is. It's just some cheap brush I got, probably Elf or Wet n Wild or something like that. So I'm just kind of, because it is a shimmerier color, I kind of dab it on there a little bit. Wait, I think I just dipped in the wrong color, maybe. Oops, no I didn't, maybe. I kind of dab in it a little bit. I did dip in the wrong color. Now I'm using Paradox. Just kidding, haha. I'll show you what color it is in a second. I'm using both Duchess and Paradox. I'm actually liking how this is turning out a bit better. It's kind of an orangey shimmery. They're kind of next to each other, so I mistook it. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah. So it's like an orangey color. Let me show you, actually. So I was starting out with this one, but I'm now using this one instead because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. And yeah, so that's what we have going on now. So I have that shimmery kind of color, and normally I go with something that is a little more different than the color I have blended up here, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to do, I'm not going to do like a crazy winged eyeliner because I don't have the patience for it right now. Plus I'm all jittery, so I'll probably be like crazy line. So I have this Marc Jacobs black eyeliner, or gel crayon, it says, that I got, I think, for my birthday from Sephora or something like that, or for points. And I always start on the outside and kind of work my way in. And if I'm doing more of a natural look, I don't line all the way in. I have thin blonde eyelashes. They're really long, or pretty long, but they're blonde and kind of sparse, like spider legs. So the closer I get in, it's harder to like blend and look natural, and I get that weird line. It's like doesn't match up right, so I try not to line all the way in unless I'm using like a liquid liner and doing a cat eye. Then I kind of have to go all the way. Well, you don't have to. You can do whatever the heck you want, but that's just me. So I go, you know, start on the outside and I come inward, and you know, I don't always come like halfway in. Sometimes I go less, sometimes I go more. It just depends. And then I like to do it on the top and on the bottom while I line the inner part of my eyelid. And then on both sides. Yeah. So that is what I have going on now. So it looks really uneven in the video camera. Like it just doesn't look the same. But it looks even to me on screen. So I mean, or in the mirror. Okay, so we have that. And then what I like to do next, like when I just do that little bit of eyeliner and I'm doing a more natural look, I like blend it. I feel like I'm saying like a lot. So sorry if I am and I sound like an idiot. I'm nervous, as I said before, and I'm really awkward. Let me see. I guess I'm prepared for this whole thing. Oh, there it is. So now I have the same brush I had before. I'm going to clean it off a little bit, and then I'm going to blend the top part of my eyeshadow. Let me see, what color do I want to blend with? I like to pick something that is lighter than the eyeliner itself, so it kind of like blends into whatever eyeshadow color I'm using at the time. So I think what I'm going to use, let's see, do I want to use one of those? No, I don't want to use that. You know what I'll use? I'll go back to my favorite, the Venus palette. See, I'm really unprepared. I didn't like plan out this look before I got on here. I just did my foundation, said, well, that's what we've got going so far. I'll use the Venus color. I like it. It's kind of a shimmery red-ish. It kind of like, I don't know, it's pretty though. And I just really need to use a very tiny bit because it's, like I said, so pigmented. And I start on the outside and I kind of like blend the edges. Try not to stab myself in the eye with the bristles, because that doesn't ever really feel good, obviously. I'm very clumsy and I have sensitive skin and sensitive eyes, and I'm just awkward all around. So as you can see, I'm blending the line a little bit. I don't know how well you can see this. It doesn't look like it's showing very well on the video, but I'm just kind of blending it a little bit, and so the eyeliner is not so obvious. And yeah, and then so I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And try not to push eyelashes in my own eye and make me really uncomfortable. And sometimes, depending on like how the color is looking, here I go pushing eyelashes in my eye. I don't know what I have in my eye, eyelash or bit of glitter or something. Then sometimes I also like to go in and like darken the crease in there too, and kind of give it like a V shape or a U shape, if that makes any sense. And I'm going to actually go back to this, well, no, let me see if I can I have this little blending brush. I really like to use it for when I don't want to get something too crazy. I'm going to use the Venus color again, and I'm going to come in here and darken it up a little bit in the corner. I never know where I'm going with the look when I start out. I just kind of like go and it happens to me. The makeup just happens to me, or I happen to it. It's not, I guess it happens like organically. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so awkward. Confession, I have never really watched any YouTube beauty tutorials. I've watched, I forget her name, Stephanie something or other, like talk about liquid lipsticks and stuff like that, and I really like her. And I've watched a couple different videos, not really tutorials, but like people talking about makeup that they like or that they don't like. You know, them critiquing different makeup palettes or kinds of makeup that they have. So yeah, I watch some videos, tutorials on like Instagram, so not really long videos, some things on Facebook, but I don't have time to watch all that stuff. I have 3 kids, so you know, I just don't have the time. I try to like learn new skills on the fly from Instagram videos and whatnot. All right, I'm talking a lot. So now I have most of my eye color that I'm going to do on. I'm actually going to go back over like right underneath my eyebrow, and I'm going to do just a little like lighter color. I'm going to also use the Lime Crime palette, the Aura color, this one right here. It's like a pearly white, not white, but like, actually I want to say it's like a, almost like a bone, and I'm going to go right underneath my eyebrow and just kind of like accentuate that, kind of give that little glow underneath there. I'm going to try not to make this too long. I'm sorry if this video ends up longer than I intend. So it kind of gives that little line, and I like that look. And then I also like to do it, you know, right here in the corners of my eye. This is not the ideal brush for this. I'm gonna pick up a different one. Yeah, I need some more like foofy kind of brushes. I'll just use the one I was already using. I just have to make sure it doesn't have too much of the dark color I was using on earlier. So I've got this like little brush here, and I kind of like to do the inner corner of my eye, like a highlight. So yeah, I've got that going on, and a little bit down here. I don't know what is going on right now. There we go. Here I am blending with my finger again. I'm like the worst about it. I try not to do it because it just doesn't create an even blend, and then your finger oils are on there, but I do it anyway because I can't help myself. Now I'm getting an eyelid twitch, so hopefully you guys can't see it. I'm really awkward, like I said before. So I'm gonna get mascara now. I also do Influencer. If you guys don't do Influencer, you should. It's great. You can get the app on your phone, and then you can review products. You scan them, and then you can say what you like about it or don't like or whatever. And then they'll send you surveys, like emails and stuff, and you complete the survey, and they'll send you free products to try, like depending on what you're most interested in. Obviously for me it's makeup, so they send me free makeup things. I'm trying to think of what I received. I received like a Marc Jacobs blush. That was great, full size, free sample to try and review, and then you tell them your honest opinion, and you take pictures and post it on your social media account. So I received one from Lancome, this Monsieur Big mascara, and it has a primer, a white primer that you use first. And if I have time, I like to use it, but you have to use it. It's like a white primer, and then you let it dry, and then you put this on over it. And right now I'm not going to do that, which is probably a faux pas, but I'm just going to use this one for now. And I really do like this. Like I said, I have like thin, it's supposed to give you voluminous lashes, and I have like spidery lashes. So it's nice. It gives kind of a thickness, but it's still it can end up looking almost kind of clumpy if you're not careful. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara. This is the eye. I have like the eye twitch going on, so bear with me. So I try not to like get mascara all over my face with my shaking hands. Holy caffeine and nerves. I have terrible anxiety too. I just like, and ultimately, like, why? It doesn't make sense. Like, why am I nervous about making this video? Like, who cares? But for some reason, I do. And see, I hate going out without mascara. It really makes the difference with my face for some reason. I have very blonde eyelashes also, so it really helps me look that much more awake and alive when I have mascara on. I have got a big blob of mascara on there now, and now I'm gonna have to reblend that whole part because I just smudged it all up like a weirdo. So I'll get back to that in a minute. I always have problems applying mascara. Like I said, I do have longer eyelashes and they're thinner, so when I apply it, it always seems to get on my skin underneath, and I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. I've seen like you can buy like guards to put on or tape or something like that, and I cannot handle it. I'm sure there's a better way, but you know, I'm not a pro. I am just another person. I put my bra on one boob at a time, just like everybody else. Yeah, there you go, getting mascara all over myself and smudging it with my finger because I'm a goofball. So yeah, and I hate this side of my eyelashes because it has a gap in there, and it has a gap. I had an infection. I got like staph in my eye one time. I had to throw out all my makeup, which was awful. It was years ago, and they had to cut my eyelid open and irrigate it, you know, and yeah, so I had to not wear makeup for a while and throw out all my old makeup. How I got staph in my eye, I don't know, but it was really awful. It was just extremely painful. I don't know what is happening with these eyelashes on this side. They look a mess. They're clumping and not looking as long. I'm going to go over with something in a second and fix it. Anywho, so yeah, they always look awkward because they've got this weird bald patch where I had my eyelid cut open. So I'm always trying to compensate for that and fix it. But yeah, so here I have like not a complete finished look, but mostly my eyeshadow is on its way to being done. Now I'm gonna fix that little blended spot real quick where I mucked it up. I'm trying really hard not to curse on here because, you know, I know that offends some people, but I am one of those people. I drop so many F-bombs. I try really hard not to because, like I said, I have 3 kids, but it's just force of habit, you know, and I was in the military and stuff like that. So not that that's an excuse, but, you know, they certainly do use a lot of curse words, you know. So it became a habit, and it was bad before. I was bad about it before, but I try not to. So that's a little bit better, I guess. Kind of, almost. So that's what we've got going on right now. That looks really bad right there. I'm going to try and fix that. I'm sorry. This is taking a lot longer than I would have originally anticipated. Yeah, so when I mess up or need to blend better, I use this Naked Basics by Urban Decay, and I have this like yellow here, and I always like use that to blend in like spots where I've messed up. Because sometimes, you know, it's hard to blend things. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm so far from it. It's crazy. Anywho, so that's what I've got going on now. I'm going to try and, like, fix these eyelashes because they're, like, doing crazy things on this side. I think I put too much mascara and, like, this eye twitch and nerves going. I can, like, never get one of these brushes through my eyelashes. Does anybody else have that problem? I don't know why I'm asking questions, because it's not like I can hear your answer right now. I'm not doing like a Facebook Live video, which, gosh, that would be like even more anxiety filled to me. I'm going to try to do that at some point, but baby steps, right? Now I've got to even out the mascara on the side. It's all janky. Sorry, you guys. It's taking a lot longer to do like a normal makeup for me than I would have originally anticipated. I'm hoping I can figure out how to edit this and make it shorter so it's not so long and ridiculous. So this is what I've got going on right now. My mascara, my eyeshadow, and whatnot. Yeah. What else am I gonna do? My contour doesn't look that great right now. I'm gonna spruce it up a little bit more. Whenever I always start with like a bare face, it looks a little like intense at first. I'm gonna go back over with that Chocolate Soleil and do that. My one big problem with this Nikkie Tutorials palette, Too Faced palette, is that there's no mirror on the inside. I really like my palettes that have a mirror right there on the inside, so I can just pick it up and like use that. And yeah, so I like that, those in my, and I honestly can say that that is probably my biggest complaint about it. So yeah, and this is my angle brush. I use this brush for mostly for contouring, just, you know, and it's an ELF brush, or ELF, or however you want to say. You know, it's very affordable. I'm all about affordable. You know, I have some not cheap palettes, but they're not like super expensive, but I'm all about saving money where I can, you know. So I'm going to put a little bit of contour at the very top, just kind of like right here around my hairline, and just give it a little bit, a little something, something, you know. So this is what we got going on so far. I'm not gonna contour my nose or anything else kind of crazy like that. Not that that's crazy. I do that all the time, but not all the time. But so this is what we've got going now. You know, I'm gonna do a little tiny bit of highlight. I do also like the highlight that's in here. Also, this smells really good. This palette, it smells, I don't know, it just smells good, like kind of like candy. So the Champagne Truffle, I like this. It's like a light pink kind of thing, and I'm just gonna do right here only. Just that little bit, and kind of bring attention to my cheekbones right on the top. And so that's what we've got going there. I look really shiny in this video. I don't know if it's like what it is. I also wear like dewier kind of makeup, not matte makeup, because I don't have really that great of skin. So I like to wear dewy because I feel like it is, for some reason to me, it doesn't show up imperfections as well. I don't know why I feel that way, but I do. What else? I have like a little spot that I need to fix up on my face where you can see I'm kind of like have a dry patch of skin. My skin isn't super breaking out right now, shockingly enough. I've had problems with acne and stuff my whole life. Well, not my whole life, not since I was born, but like since I was a teenager. Since I was like about 12, it happened. And then, but so I've got these little dry patches right now where my skin is like healing up from having been broken out. Also, what I just used is this Limelight by Alcone Botanical Foundation. I forget what color this is, like ivory or something, but I love it. My eye is twitching like mad. It's making me feel crazy. So yeah, and then I just use this little brush and then I kind of dab it in. I try not to use my fingers usually, but I don't know what I did with my beauty blender, so I'm gonna just go with that. And then I'm gonna do a lip. I'm not gonna do anything crazy today. I have this, what is this? L'Oreal Color Riche anti-feathering lip liner in Natural, Au Naturel. Yeah. So, and just kind of, I like to use lip liners a lot of times for lipsticks. They give a good matte color to me. I love lipsticks, but I don't always wear them because I'm always smudging them, and I don't like glossy lipsticks, but I also have really dry lips. So I feel like it's hard to find a good matte, like, staying lip color that doesn't like smudge or look, I don't know, like doesn't dry your lips out real bad. Here I go, like trying to talk and do my lip liner at the same time. I'm drawing on my face. So that's what I've got going on with that. Yeah, so this is I guess my finished look. It's not perfect, but this video is like 30 minutes long, which is way longer than it actually takes me to do my makeup. It doesn't take me hardly any time to do. So yeah, and then my hair is up so it looks like crap. It's wet, so I usually never do my hair because I have time to do my hair or my makeup, so I just kind of let it air dry. So this is our completed look. Yeah, my hair's wet. Hopefully it'll dry and look better later. But yeah, that's what we have going on with our makeup. And this is like a kind of a look that I would wear on a regular day. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any suggestions or comments, hopefully nothing too crazy or anything mean, that would be great. Thanks so much for watching, and I guess check back for new videos. This is my first, and hopefully it won't be my last. So thanks for watching.